These are my 3 whys of the Employee Art Program. For me, if you get the why right and you know why you're doing something, the how usually follows pretty easily. So this is my why for the Employee Art Program. So there's 3 key reasons why I've developed the Employee Art Program. Number 1 is for the people that you manage every day. Employee incentives are a big deal for a reason. Those people who come to work every day know that some days are going to be tougher than others. They're not always going to love the work that they're doing, but the environment that they're in, the other people that they work with, and just the joy of participating in that environment keeps them coming to work every day. At least I like to think so. So that for me is a big deal as a manager. And I've only seen this in one place. It was actually in the offices of Capital One. And I asked them where they did this. They actually printed artworks from their own employees and hung them in the hallways in places where people worked. And it was organized by somebody in the company who had done this for themselves. They actually ran a gallery as a volunteer effort, and they went around to other people in the office and they got artworks from different people and printed them and put them in the hallways. And I asked them, specifically, was there a program for this? And they said, no, it was just an individual thought this would be a great idea. And in that particular office, when I ran around and asked people, everybody to a person loved having those personal artworks up in the office. I even saw people stopped in the hallway talking about one of the artworks. I don't know if they ever went on to do an exhibition for those, but it definitely made a difference for the people that worked in that space every day. So that's one reason. My second why comes from years ago when I was working in a small office. It was 50 or 60 people. We moved into a new space, and it was a much bigger space. We didn't have artworks to fill the walls, and I asked the owner one day if we could put something on the walls. And he said, yeah, sure, go ahead and give me a proposal, get back to me, let me know what you want to hang. And then 2 weeks later, before I got to talk to him again, he came in with all of these inspirational quotes with stock photography on them, like leadership and teamwork and motivation, and they really didn't fit our culture at all as a company. And within 3 weeks, everybody had asked me, can you take these down? Can we put something else up? I don't even remember what we ended up putting up in the office, but we definitely took those down right away. So yeah, if you do it wrong, I can definitely demotivate people. And there are definitely things you can do with art advisors just to create a professional atmosphere and let people that come into your office know what you're about. And what better way than to tell people what you're about than promoting and celebrating your own staff and your own employees in the environment where they work every day. And my third why stems from leading photographers on workshops. All of these people that I work with, for the most part, come back home with beautiful images. And the next question is always, what do I do with these photos? Can I sell them? Or what's the best way to enjoy them? And typically the answer is social media. Nothing wrong with that at all. By all means, definitely do that. But what if you had another way to exhibit and to share your creativity? I'm going to wax a little philosophical for a second. Creativity, for me anyway, I believe it's like a body of water. It has to be fluid. It has to keep moving. And if creativity flows in, you take those photos, you create that artwork, you've designed something that you want to share with the world, and you never do. It sits on your desk. It sits on a hard drive. You've taken all of the time to create that, but it never goes anywhere. You don't get to share it. Then it becomes stagnant. So like a body of water, if a river flows in and then it doesn't go anywhere, the water just sits there, it stinks, it becomes stagnant. But if it flows out, then that body of water becomes a place for life. Things want to live in it. You want to go visit it. It becomes a beautiful place. And creativity and art is very much the same way. So those people that take those photos and create that artwork, they draw, they sketch, they paint, whatever their medium is, if they don't have an outlet for that, usually it dies and they decide not to continue to do it. So this program is a way for everybody to interact within the company in a creative space in the community that I've created with each other and to encourage each other. So my 3 whys for the Employee Art Program would be, number 1, create a space that people want to come to every day, both visually by hanging their artworks on the wall, as well as after they've participated in the creative community, you're going to have a whole new dynamic of team bonds from people that have interacted over a shared interest. So that's number 1. Number 2 would be caring about your people and your culture. Employee incentive programs usually don't go to this level where you've got a way for people to interact outside of office hours on a regular basis on their own terms, doing something that they are personally really excited about. So this just will help you create a company culture, hopefully, that you can carry on for many, many years. And number three would be doing your employee incentive programs on a level that is personal. Team bonding events, any kind of out of the office training, those are definitely programs that kind of get mixed reviews and lukewarm results, if you will, from employees. But something like this can definitely bond people, give them a place to interact with each other, again, in a way that is very personal to them. And if you look at any kind of successful employee incentives that are meaningful to the individual are those that are most often requested and most often successful. So those are my 3 whys behind why I'm doing the employee art program.